मांशा श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांशा नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्से नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to all for our second session on Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 5, known as Bhagavata Cosmology. So, if you all remember, day before yesterday, in the first session, we discussed about how Privarta Maharaj had divided the entire Bhumandala into 7 islands by creating 7 concentric oceans by his chariot wheel, by traveling around as long as he was living and ruling all over Bhumandala. So that's how he divided, and we have seen their names and their further divisions, etc. The seventh ocean, seventh island, sixth ocean, sixth island, fifth ocean, fifth island, fourth ocean, fourth island, like that. As they are going inside, they are reduced by half the dimension or half the width. So, so these are the details. There are different mountains and different rivers and different uh, designations coming because of the presence of some special things. As you go inside, you can see them, and as you go further inside, you can see them. So at the end of the last class, there was a query: how are the dimensions calculated? Of course, in the 16th chapter, which we are going to read now, it explained that the length and width of Jambudvipa is around 1 lakh yojanas. Generally, length and width we have for a rectangle, and for a square, the length and width both are same. And when it comes to a circle, when somebody says the length and width of that particular circle is of 1 lakh yojanas, then that it means the diameter from here to here and here to here, that would be the length, and this would be the width. So that is of 1 lakh yojana, mean that is diameter. And then of the same width, the first ocean will be whatever the width of the Jambudvipa, that will be the width of saltwater ocean. From here to here it is 1 lakh, here to here it is 1 lakh. And the width of the next island and the next ocean will be twice to the previous island and ocean. If the width of Jambudvipa is 1 lakh yojanas, then the width of Lakshadvipa will be 2 lakh yojanas. If the width of saltwater ocean is 1 lakh yojanas, then the width of sugarcane juice will be 2 lakh yojanas. But for us to calculate the outer radius of any particular place, so if the total diameter of Jambudvipa is 1 lakh, the radius will be 50,000 yojanas. And then saltwater ocean will be 1 lakh yojanas in width. The total radius from the center of Meru to outer border of saltwater ocean will be 1 lakh yojanas of saltwater ocean plus 50,000 yojanas of Jambudvipa. That becomes 1.5 lakh. So that's how I mentioned here. 50,000 yojanas plus 1 lakh yojanas, total becomes 1.5 lakh or 0.15 million yojanas. Like that, if you keep on adding for the next, the second island, second ocean, third island, third ocean, fourth island, fourth ocean, fifth island, fifth ocean, sixth island, sixth ocean, seventh island, seventh ocean, all put together, the outer radius of the seventh ocean, that is sweet drinking water, will be 25.35 million yojanas. And since Manasatra mountain is located in the middle of the Pushkara Deepa, so that will be equal to 12.55 plus half of 6.4, that is 3.2. So when you add 3.2 to 12.55, that becomes 15.75. That is that radius of the central position of Manasatra mountain. So these two numbers are required for our future discussion. That's why I was mentioning about these two. So this was the discussion of last class. So we have discussed from first chapter of the fifth canto, and also from fifth chapter, the first few verses, the 16th chapter, first few verses, and then we straight away discussed from 20th chapter, verse number 1 to 23, etc., wherein the discussion about the 6 islands of Bhumandala has been presented. There are names for all the individual divisions, the 7 varshas, names of the 7 mountains, names of the 7 rivers, and the prayer offered by the respective people who are living there to their respective deity, that which is mentioned here. We have here sun, moon, Agni, Varuna, Vayu, Brahma. One prayer is being offered. So all those details we did not get into because they are simply prayers. They are offering to their heartfelt prayers to Supreme Lord, seeing the Supreme Lord in their in the vibhuti of the Supreme Lord, such as sun, moon, Agni, Varuna, Vayu, and Brahma, etc. So now we will come back to 16th chapter. So in the 16th chapter, I think verse number 5 gives a analogy about the description of Bhumandala, that is there. So starting from verse number 5 of the 16th chapter all the way up to the last verse of the 19th chapter, all these chapters talks about Jambudipa. So that we'll discuss today and tomorrow also. So this is meaning of the verse number 5. Yo vayam dvipa kuvalaya kamala kosha bhyantara kosho niyuta yojana vishala samavartulo yata pushkara patram. So this is the verse number 5. If you have book, you can refer to, because I did not put all the shlokas here. So the Jambudipa is like the oral of the lotus, that is round like a lotus leaf. So this is the meaning of the last line. Niyuta yojana vishala. So it's basically yo va ayam dvipa kuvalaya kamala kosha bhyantara kosho. It's basically those dvipas about which you are asking, my dear Parikshis, they are like the 7 circular layers made up of the petals of a lotus flower. But among them, the Kuvalaya Kamala means that lotus flower, Kosha Abhyantara, the central portion of the different layers is the Kosho, the central portion of the lotus flower, that is like the what we can call as, here it calls as situated as the colorful petals of the lotus Bhumandala, which is certain for visible Jambudipa. The oral of the lotus flower is Niyuta Yoshana Vishala. Niyuta means 100,000. Ayuta 10,000. Niyuta is 100,000. The width of this Jambudipa is, which is the oral of the lotus flower of lotus of Bhumandala, is 1,000 yojanas. And it is like Yata Pushkara Patram. It is like a lotus flower, lotus leaf. It is circular like a Samavartulo Yata Pushkara Patram. Samavartulo. It is Vartula is circular and is equal in circular arrangement. It is round like a lotus leaf. Its width is, length and width is around 1 lakh yojanas or 0.1 million yojanas. It contains 9 mountains which mark the boundaries of 9 varshas. They are called 9 divisions of this, and each division would be 9,000 yojanas wide. And the 9 varshas are ruled by 9 sons of Agnidra. And this Jambudipa was given to the eldest son of Priyavrat Maharaj. The eldest son of Priyavrat Maharaj was Agnidra. And Agnidra in turn had 9 sons. And these 9 divisions were given to 9 sons of Agnidra. Among the 9 divisions, the centralmost division is Ilavurta Varsha. And in the center of Ilavurta Varsha is Sumeru mountain. So, and which looks like a pericap of the lotus like Bhumandala. So if you see the entire Bhumandala to be a lotus flower, the Mount Meru looks like the pericap of the entire Bhumandala, and Jambudipa looks like the oral of the entire Bhumandala. So what do you mean by pericap? What do you mean by oral? You can see from this picture. So this is the lotus flower, and the petals which are arranged in a particular layer can be like different islands of the Bhumandala. This is the oral of the lotus flower. This entire region is the Bhumandala, which is Jambudipa. Within that, this is pericap. The pericap is like the Mount Meru. So whatever picture you are seeing is the entire Bhumandala, and the oral portion, the central portion of the lotus flower is Jambudipa, and within that Jambudipa, the pericap is Mount Meru. So this is how Sukadeva Goswami explains it in a simple way with which we are familiar, so that we can actually understand how the Bhumandala is situated when you go upward into the sky and look downward and how it appears. So this is Jambudipa. The length and breadth of Jambudipa is 1 lakh yojanas. That is basically diameter of the circular Jambudipa, which is Samavartulo Yatha Pushkara Patram. And Bhagavatam says the height of Mount Meru is also same length. The total height of Mount Meru from the bottom to the top is 1 lakh yojanas. Out of 1 lakh yojanas, 16,000 yojanas of Mount Meru is within the surface of the Jambudipa. So that is like the basement of a building. 16,000 yojanas of total Mount Meru is inside the Bhumandala or inside the Jambudipa, and the remaining 84,000 yojanas is above the surface of the Jambudipa. That is 84,000 yojanas height. And this entire mountain is made up of gold. It is a golden mountain. And then generally every mountain is like this. At the base is very big. As you go upward, it becomes small peak. But this mountain, at the base, it is 60,000 yojanas. At the base, if you measure the diameter of this mountain, it is 16,000 yojanas. But as you go upward, the diameter of the mountain increases to 32,000 yojanas. This is a peculiar mountain. It is bigger on the top, smaller at the base. And this is like isometric view when you see from a particular direction. But when you go upward, when you look downward, so I have taken this is the footprint of the Mount Meru at the base. This is 16,000 yojanas. So that is here. This is the footprint of Mount Meru on the surface of Jambudipa, which is 16,000 yojanas in diameter. Here to here, here to here, 16,000 yojanas. And then Bhagavatam says that on the northern side of Mount Meru, there are 3 mountains which divide Jambudipa into 3 varshas. This is Shrungavan mountain, Shweta mountain, Neela mountain. The width of the mountain from here to here, it is 2,000 yojanas. The height of the mountain, which is tangential, diagonal towards the surface of the Bhumandala, that is towards us, the way we are looking at. The height will be 10,000 yojanas. The length is according to its position in the circular Jambudipa. Here the length will be more, here the length is little less, here the length is little less. So Bhagavatam, for simple understanding, it says that this length is almost equal to the diameter of the Bhumandala, and this length is 10% less than the length of this one, and the length of this mountain is 10% less than the length of this mountain. So all of you are engineers, you can actually calculate what would be the length of that. And then the 3 varshas are Rammeka Varsha, Hiranmaya Varsha, and the upper one is Kuru Varsha or Uttara Kuru Varsha. The width of these 3 respective varshas is 9,000 yojanas. From here to here is 9,000, here to here it is 9,000, and here to the upper one is 9,000. That is being mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Then on the southern side of Mount Meru, there are 3 more mountains known as Nishada mountain, Hemakuta mountain, Himalaya mountain, whose length details are not mentioned. You can calculate based on the position in the circular Jambudipa. And the width is 2,000 yojanas, from here to here 2,000, and height is 10,000 yojanas. And similarly, the width of 3 varshas on the southern side, Harivarsha, Kimpurusha Varsha, Bharata Varsha. Here to here 9,000, here to here 9,000, here to here 9,000. And then to the east of Mount Meru, there is Gandhamadana mountain. To the west of Mount Meru, there is Malavan mountain. And then to the east of Gandhamadana mountain is Bhadrasha Varsha. To the west of Malavan mountain is Ketumala Varsha. And in the middle, the centralmost island, the centralmost Varsha is Ilavrta Varsha. The dimensions of Ilavrta Varsha, which is said in Vayu Purana to be a square, it is like square, Chaturasram, it is 34,000 yojanas. Here to here 34,000, here to here 34,000. And the width of the Gandhamadana mountain is 2,000 yojanas. This is also 2,000 yojanas. Length would be 34,000 here to here, here to here 34,000. And why 34? Because Bhagavatam says the width of each Varsha is 9,000 yojanas. So, if Ilavrita Varsha is a square and its dimensions are 34 by 34, how could Bhagavatam can say in one of the verses of Bhagavatam it can say 9,000 yojanas? At the base of Mount Meru is 16,000 yojanas. So from here to here it is 34. If you remove 16,000 from 34, what remains is 18,000. And if that 18,000 is divided into two parts, two portions, one portion here to here and one portion here to here. Here to here it is 9,000, here to here it is 9,000. And this is 16,000. 9, 16, 9. All together 34. 9, 16, 9. All together 34. So the 9,000 yojanas of each division is also still valid. Though overall dimension is 34, but the land portion is only 9,000 in all four directions. So it is like that. So whatever is remaining, so 34 plus 2 plus 2, 38. 100 minus 38 will be 61. So 31 will be here. 100 minus 38 will be 62. And half of it will be 31. From here to here it is 31. And here to here it is 31. So that is how the dimensions of all these 9 verses have been mentioned. And you may say that this is 34 by 31, this is also 34 by 31. This is not fulfilling the criteria of 9,000 yojanas. So that we will see tomorrow, how this also fulfills the criteria of 9,000 yojanas. There is another way of we have to look at, then that it makes sense. So these are the 9 divisions of Jambudvipa. Because of the presence of 9 mountains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because the 9 boundary mountains, there are 9 divisions. Their respective dimensions, the mountains' width and height, everything is being mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam subsequent shlokas. So now I want to make you clear about the dimensions. So before taking that, anybody has any question regarding these divisions? Are the based on the previous class? No queries? No questions?
Hare Krishna.
Hmm.
There is a question in the chat box as well, and there is a question from here devotees. So, Prabhuji, you mentioned that there were 9 sons of Agnidhara, whom these 9 tracts of land were given. Was these were these divisions done after their birth or before, like it was planned beforehand only?
See, one cannot create mountains. Mountains are naturally produced by the will of the Supreme Lord. So the divisions were already there, but what Agnidhara did is, he named the divisions and gave them to the respective sons. Agnidhara had 9 sons whose names are Ilavruta, Hari, Kimpurusha, Bharata, Ketumala, not Bharata, Nabi, Ketumala, Bhadrashva, Ramyaka, Hiranmaya, and Kuru. And he named these respective particular areas with those names and gave them. That's what he did. The divisions were already there, but he named them after the names of their sons, his sons, and gave them, so that there will be no conflict.
So, Prabhuji, like in other divisions also, you showed that how there are exactly the number of divisions, which is same as the number of sons.
Yes.
Just coincidence or like the Lord's arrangement?
Yeah, we can say Lord's arrangement.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other query?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Whoever is asking, your voice is not audible.
Prabhuji, I had read in Bhagavatam in the first chapter,
like which canto?
Fifth canto.
Okay, fine.
About Prabhupada Maharaj. So, like last class, you had mentioned about how Prabhupada Maharaj he rotated in a particular circle for 25.76 days, and then like he was going out in concentric circles when he came inside. So I saw that in Bhagavatam this particular detail is not there. So what is the reference of this particular detail, Prabhuji?
Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary to Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Generally, Srila Prabhupada do not go into too much technical details. He tries to explain the shlokas of Bhagavatam as per the modern context on how we can apply those shlokas in our daily life. So many, generally in the second canto or third canto or fifth canto, there are many technical details are explained. Srila Prabhupada tries to avoid them, avoid getting into details. He generally speaks in terms of the modern context. So for more technical understanding of these subject matters, basically the primary creation, secondary creation, and the sthana, the divisions of the universe and all, etc. So you can better refer to Srila Vishnu Chakravarti's commentary. So he takes the pain of explaining all these things very elaborately. Srila Prabhupada touches upon here and there, but not in detailed. This is my little understanding, not in any way demeaning Srila Prabhupada, but Srila Prabhupada dedicated his purports to explain us the import of Srimad Bhagavatam. May not be the exact technical details, but how we can apply the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam in our daily life and become devotees. But one simple thought is, because we as the mostly deviated are very less interested in spiritual culture, Prabhupada might be thinking that people may not read the complete Bhagavatam. Even if they open any page of Bhagavatam, they should get basic understanding that I am not this body, I am the soul. The purpose of life is to practice bhakti and go back to Godhead. So this particular theme Prabhupada repeats in each and every purport. So many times technical details are there, but those people who read Bhagavatam from starting to the end, they will get all the details. But those who want to open once in a while some page in here and there, so Prabhupada takes that the pain of presenting the very essential things of our bhakti philosophy in each and every purport. This is my understanding. You can check with Achut Mohan Prabhu for more details.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
One more question is there.
Yes, Prabhu.
Is it that only Bharatvarsha, which is central part of Asia, is a part of Jambudvip, not the whole earth?
Thank you very much for your curiosity. Can you keep your curiosity till tomorrow morning class, or maybe today itself? We don't know. If we happen to come that point, you will be able to understand. As of now, I don't want to reveal suspense. And for your information, I will tell you something. Here is Bharatavarsha, whose width is 9,000 yojanas. Multiply that with 13. And here is Himalaya mountain, whose width is 2,000 yojanas. Multiply that with 13. And height is 10,000 yojanas. Multiply that with 13. So what are we talking? And what we have heard in our school days about Himalaya mountain and the great country known as Bharat, and see if there is any correlation between those two. If there is no correlation, then wait till tomorrow. If there is correlation, still wait till tomorrow. So any other query?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. I don't see any query in chat box also. No problem. There is something. So someone is asking, Arum Prabhu, these dimensions given are exact value or approximate value? So now I want to ask you, what is your opinion? Are they exact or approximate or some concoction or some metaphor? So please, Prabhu, please, either you can write or you can tell, you can speak out. What is your opinion? What do you think? Approx? What makes you to think they are approx? Or if they are approx, how much they are approx? Are 99% approx, 90% approx, 50% approx, or 10% approx, or 1% approx? See, I am asking, all of you are engineers, mostly. So you people work with values. So I want you to make sure the authenticity of values also. Please tell me how much approximate they are. 99% or 1%? %99. So then tell me, Here Himalaya mountains are said to be a width of 2000 yojanas. That means 2000 into 13. 1,30,000 yojanas, 30,000, 1,30,000 kilometers would be the width of Himalayas. What is the width of our Himalayas? And height 10,000 yojanas, that is 13. 130,000 yojanas. Of course, 1,30,000. This is 1,30,000 yojanas. So what is the height of our Himalayas? To be precise, the height of Mount Everest is 8848 meters. That is 8.8 kilometers. That is 9 kilometers roughly. So where is 9 kilometers? Where is 130,000 kilometers? My dear friend, how much approximate it is? So for your information, the values mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam are 100% correct. There is no error of 1% also. How they are? Please wait till next classes. Don't have any doubt on Srimad Bhagavatam. We can doubt our own existence, that whether I am human being or not, we can doubt that. But don't doubt on Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's go ahead. So this is one of the important concept which I am going to show in this slide. If anyone understands this slide, the rest of the cosmology in the Bhagavatam becomes very clear. So this slide, kindly pay attention to you, because in the previous slide I mentioned that to the north of Mount Meru there are 3 mountains and 3 varshas. To the south of Mount Meru there are 3 varshas and 3 mountains. To the east of Mount Meru there is Gandhamadana. To the west of Mount Meru there is Malevan and Ketumala Varsha, etc. etc. Now, the entire discussion in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 5 is happening between Srila Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. And this discussion is happening on the bank of Mother Ganga, which is located very close to Hastinapur, the town known as Hastinapur. Even today also you can find a town in Uttar Pradesh somewhere, which is located very close to Mother Ganga. And having understood that Parikshit Maharaj has been cursed by Shrungi, the son of Shamika Rishi, he had taken to renunciation or Vanaprastha, whatever. So then he sat on the bank of Mother Ganga. That is where all the sages came, and eventually Sukadeva Goswami came, and he spoke for 7 days continuously on Srimad Bhagavatam. So they are discussing sitting on the bank of Ganga at a place known as Shukatal. Even today also you can visit that place is there. So Sukadeva Goswami talking everything in relation to the place where they are sitting with respect to Shukatal. And with respect to Shukatal, he is talking about the dimensions. He is talking about the directions, not the dimensions, sorry, directions. So from that point of view, let us see. So this is the Bhumandala with different divisions. And we have also seen the sun revolves at a height on the surface of the Bhumandala regularly in a clockwise direction. So regularly will be revolving like this. So currently we are discussing about Jambudipa. Jambudipa is this one. The innermost land we can see is the Jambudipa. And this is the position where Mount Meru is situated, where the stem of this lotus is located. And Sukadeva Goswami mentioned that to the north of Mount Meru there are 3 varshas, that is this side. Here 3 varshas and 3 mountains are there. And so south of Mount Meru there are 3 varshas and 3 mountains, they are here. And this side it says east of Mount Meru, and this side is said west of Mount Meru. Okay, now the sun is revolving like this. So now this is east, he said. This is west. This is south, he said. This is north, he said. But according to the understanding of the entire universe, for the entire universe, this is true south. The actual south of the entire universe is this one. The actual north of the entire universe is this one. But Sukadeva Goswami, in order to explain the divisions of Bhumandala and the divisions of Jambudipa, the 2 directions for which there is no name, he names them as south and north. South is nothing but the direction of the midday sun. North is nothing but the direction of the midnight sun. So when sun is here, that time the people in Bharatavarsha happen to see the sun rise. That's why this is called east. East is also not a permanent direction, but it is a direction with respect to the people who are living at any place. For the people of Bharatavarsha, when sun comes here, it becomes visible. That's why it is called east. And the same sun, when it comes here, that will be, the sun will be situated just overhead of Bharatavarsha. that time it will be noon for them. So that direction Sukadeva Goswami calls it as south, that is the midday sun. And when sun goes here, it starts setting, that is sunset direction, that is west. And when sun goes in the backward direction, that becomes midnight, the direction of the midnight sun. So in our daily observation in my room, so for me, this is the east, this side sun rises in front of me, the back side will be west, and this side will be north, and this side will be south. This north is the true north. So every morning I can see Dhruvatara is situated in this direction. Every night I can see Dhruvatara is there. And this is the south. This north is true north. From the universal situation, this is towards upward. And this south is toward downward. But there are two more directions. One is upward, one is downward, for which there is no name. There is no permanent name. But Sukadeva Goswami considers this upward direction, where the sun is situated in the midday sun, that is called south. So here. And downward direction, which is below my feet, that Sukadeva Goswami calls it as north. In order to explain the details of or the divisions of entire Jambudvipa. At some places in the Bhagavatam, when it is said south and north, we have to take them as this is apparent south, apparent north, which are towards the midday sun and midnight sun. At some other places, Bhagavatam talks about north and south. That time we have to see in relation to true north and true south. When Sukadeva Goswami is speaking about true north or apparent north, that we should have that understanding. Now, which one is speaking? That understanding we should have. So, is there any query in relation to the 6 dimensions? This becomes more clear when we discuss about Bharata Varsha. When we in future slides we are going to discuss about Bharata Varsha, that becomes more clear at that time. Yes, Prabhu.
Can you please tell about Dhruv Tara again?
So I am telling in the northern direction, that is towards my left hand side here, every morning I can see Dhruv Tara. The Dhruv Tara is somewhere located here in the entire universe. So when you're situated here, when you look upward, you can see Dhruv Tara. That is what I am saying. When you look toward the north of the universe, the Dhruv Tara is the direction toward the actual true north of the universe is located. That's what I want to say. But in our daily observation, we see the sun situated overhead. The Dhruva Tara will be there towards the north direction when you see, with our equal vision of the sun. For our India, Mumbai, we have to look at 18 degrees elevation. That is where Dhruva Tara is located. 18. Yeah, Mumbai is located at 18 degrees. That's why it is like that. So, it is like that. So, I am trying to explain the difference between north and true north. North is towards midday sun over our head, above our head. The true north is towards north, the direction in which Dhruva Tara is situated. It is like that. East is the direction in which sun rises. West is the direction in which sun sets.
Prabhuji, I had one question.
Yeah, please.
Prabhuji, if when you are saying that Dhruv Tara, the direction in which Dhruv Tara is there, that is the true north, and the apparent north is different thing. Then how when we go towards the Dhruv Tara, then we are actually moving towards the apparent north only?
No, I am saying both are different. Na? You can't go. This north is going above our head. True north is going towards my left hand side. How this can be same? Both are at 90 degrees difference. In a 3D picture, you see, na? It is very clear. In a 3D cube or 3D spherical, the 3 directions are different. In front of my eyes is east. Behind my head is west. To my left hand side is north. To my right hand side is south. Above my head is apparent north. And below my feet is apparent south. 3 directions are entirely different. They do not coincide any time with each other.
What I've heard is that when sailors used to sail towards the north, they used to see the Dhruv Tara. So how did that happen?
Obviously, even not only sailors, you can also see towards north Dhruv Tara. Can't you see every day Dhruv Tara in the northern direction?
Yeah, but Dhruv Tara is above, na? So
above nahi, it is on the northern direction at a height of 18 degrees.
okay.
Who said above?
तो ऊपर ही देख सकते हैं आकाश में, मैं इसलिए करता
ऊपर
अब
ऊपर नहीं, ऊपर दिखेगा तो नहीं दिखेगा ध्रुव तारा आपको. and in the northern direction at height of 18 degrees and the surface of the earth, if you consider the tangential distance is like 0 degrees, you write a line of 18 degrees at a height. So it is like this is 0 degrees, you write a line of 18 degrees. That's where you see Dhruv Tara like this.
Okay.
Because Bombay's longitude is 18 degrees na. Your Varanasi will be maybe 20 degrees. No, sorry. Varanasi will be little more than 23. Jaipur will be 23. Jaipur is 23 degrees longitude. That is our
Tropic Cancer.
Karkata Rekha is there in that. So Varanasi little above na. So you might be situated at 25 degrees. So you have to look in the direction of 25 degrees in the northern direction at height of 25 degrees. Then you can see Dhruv Tara.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So there is a query in the chat box. Prabhuji, north is the direction of midday sun or midnight sun. I request that Prabhuji to see the slide. South is direction of midday sun. North is direction of midnight sun. And true north is to my left hand side. True south is to my right hand side. Here the north and south are apparent north and south. These are not the true north and true south. The true north is upward of the upper direction of the universe. True south is the downside of the universe where Bhagavata ocean is there. That is true south. That is actual south, which actually we track every day in the morning. The true south is towards Bhagavata ocean. If you go towards south to my right hand side, you will go to Bhagavata ocean. If you go towards my left hand side, you will go to Svargaloka and Dhruvaloka, then Maharloka, Janloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, and then all the way up to Brahman, and then Vaikuntha, and then Golok Vrindavan. Yes, true.
Prabhuji, actually the confusion is arising because of we are not able to reconcile like how we are located on the Bhumandala. So
wait. How we are located, I will tell you exactly maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
So I understood your curiosity, but for now I already we just want to inform the direction, because many times when devotees read the north and south, they understand that these are true north and true south. How it is situated, they difficult to understand. See, for you simple, here in the 3D universe, the north is always upper direction, the south is always downward direction, but the Bhumandala is a plane here, and in the plane you are discussing about Sukadeva Goswami talking about 4 directions: east, west, north, south. But north is actually when it is towards upward, then where is the north and the surface of the Bhumandala, which is exactly located in the middle? There is no possibility. The same north which is above cannot be there on the equal plane also. Both cannot be there. And the same south which is there below cannot be there on the same equal level surface. So Sukadeva Goswami, in order to describe the 4 dimensions, for a surface we have 4 directions. So that is dividing in relation to Mount Meru, the 4 directions. So it is like that.
In one sense, can we call true north as top and true south as down? Something like that.
In all sense, we should call true north is south. True north is upward direction of the universe. True south is the downward direction of the entire universe.
So that would be easier to understand.
Yeah, that's what true north is upward. Arrow mark is shown here. It is upward of the universe. And once again, wait. Upward means not upward of your head. You are in a different plane. And in relation to you, how it is, we will discuss later in future session. Now currently we don't know where we are. I'm only talking in relation to the Jambudipa. The Jambudipa is a flat land, as it is shown here, the grey portion. In relation to this grey portion, we can have 6 directions. This is east, this is west, this is apparent north, this is apparent south, and the upward direction is true north and downward direction is true south. When Sukadeva Goswami mentioned that in the northern direction there are 3 Varshas and 3 mountains, they are on the surface only, but this direction. When he says 3 Varshas and 3 mountains in southern direction, they are on this plane only, but here this direction. So not to get confused, all of you are engineers. You can get it very easily. All of you must have had drawing in the engineering first year. You must have done isometric projection, front view, top view, side view, left hand side view, right hand side view, etc. etc. If you have forgotten, kindly refresh your mind. Don't worry. I mean, this we will take again, maybe tomorrow session. That time everything becomes very clear when we will come to the discussion of Bharata Varsha. That is where everything, all suspense will be revealed. Don't worry. So for now, just accept that to the surface, it is a horizontal 2D plane for which there are 4 directions. That is apparent north, apparent south, west and east. But with respect to that horizontal plane, the upward direction is north, the bottom direction is downward direction is actual south and north, which we are familiar with. That much you understand. And the 2 directions for which we don't have any names, that overhead, that is mid-noon sun, that is south, and midnight sun, that is north. Itna hi yaad karo basically. So let us go ahead. So this is the isometric projection of the entire Jambudvipa. This is Jambudvipa, the circular Jambudvipa, whose width is about 1 lakh yojanas. This is saltwater ocean, whose width is another 1 lakh yojanas. And this is Plakshadvipa, the second island. And within Jambudvipa, you can see the 9 mountains: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And these are the lands 1, 2, 3, etc. These are another set of mountains which are there inside, etc. And these are different set of islands which are there surrounding Jambudvipa, etc. etc. This is a little close picture. You can see the mountains very clearly. The width of the mountain is 2000 yojanas, height is 10,000 yojanas. This picture is made to the scale exactly. Here to here is 9,000 yojanas, and here to here it is 9,000, here to here 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 9,000, etc. etc. This is 31 and this is 34. So like that. This is the closest possible figure. And this is Ilavrata Varsha. The central portion is Ilavrata Varsha. Within Ilavrata Varsha, there are so many other things which we will discuss. And Vayupurana describes the shape of this entire Jambu Dvipa. Dhanutva Samsute Jijne Dve Varshe Dakshinottarat Dirgani Tatra Chatvari Chaturasram Ilavrutam. 2 varshas in north and south are bow-shaped. Dhanutvat Samsute Jijne Dve Varshe Dakshinottarat. And the Dakshina and Uttara, 2 varshas are Dhanurvat, bow-shaped. And 4 varshas of long. Dirgani Tattva Chatvari. The 4 varshas are long. Chaturasram Ilavrutam. Ilavruta is square. And in the next shloka they mention about there are 2 other varshas which are shaped like bows but running horizontally enter the sea. So what it means? This is like a bow. Bharata Varsha is like the bow. This is the string, this is the stick. And this is also like a bow. And 4 are long varshas. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 varshas are long. And this is Chaturasram. Ilavrutam is Chaturasram, the square, perfect square, 34 by 34. And 2 varshas, on one end they are like bow, but they are also running long horizontally. So this is the picture of the entire Jambudvipa that has been mentioned in Vayupurana. And this shloka is quoted by Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, quoting Vayupurana in his commentary to one of the verses in the 16th chapter. So one of the verses have this quote in his commentary. So it is like this. The shape is also mentioned. For more details, if you happen to get Vayupurana talks about many more details of the entire Jambudvipa. It goes into greater amount of details. Somebody is interested, they can read through. So here in all the divisions and dimensions, everything is mentioned here. See, 9, 2, 9, 2, 9, 2, 34, 2, 2, 2. All things if you add, it becomes 100. If you add these things also becomes 100. 31, 2, 34, 2, 31, everything. 100 and 100. So this is the image of entire Jambu Dvipa with different mountains and different varshas. This is another image of the entire Jambudvipa. Saltwater ocean and Jambudvipa with Mount Meru in the middle. Little close up. Much more close up. And having spoken elaborately about Jambudvipa, now Sukadeva Goswami talks about Ilavrata Varsha, which is the centralmost Varsha. and there are many more subdivisions within Ilavrita Varsha. They are being described. And this is Ilavrita Varsha. In 4 directions, we have 4 mountains: Neela, Gandhamadana, Nishada, and Malevan. There are the 4 mountains, 4 directions. In the middle of Ilavrita Varsha, there is Mount Sumeru. At the base, it is 16,000 yojanas. And then surrounding this Meru mountain, there are 8 mountains. 2 mountains are situated in each direction. Jatara, Devakuta in the east, Pavana, Pariyartha in the west, Trishanga and Makara in the north, Karavira and Kailasha in the south. And the dimensions of these mountains are, the length is 9,000 yojanas. From here to here 9,000, and here to here another 9,000. The width is 2,000. The height is also 2,000. Height is perpendicular to the screen, that is 2,000. And 9 plus 9 would be 18,000 yojanas. The width of Mount Meru is 16,000, and the total length of these 2 mountains will be 18,000. That means there will be 1,000 gap here. Here to here there is 1,000 land of Ilavrita Varsha. Here to here 1,000, here to here 1,000, here to here 1,000. The width of the mountain is 2,000 yojanas. If this is 16 and here to here it will be 18, and then the here 1,000, here 1,000, 16 plus 2 will be 18. So in that way you have to see. And then surrounding these 8 mountains, the 4 pairs of 8 mountains, there are 4 more mountains. Their names are Mandara, Meru Mandara, Suparshva, and Kumuda. And their dimensions are 10,000 yojanas in length. From here to here, the length is 10,000 yojanas. Width is 2,000 yojanas. From here to here, 2,000 yojanas. Height of these mountains will be 10,000 yojanas. The height is very much. The height of these mountains is 2,000. The height of these mountains is 10,000. And these mountains are located at a distance of 2,000 yojanas from the 2-pair mountain. Here to here 1,000, here to here 2,000, and here to here the land gap is 2,000, the mountain width is 2,000, and then afterward there will be 2,000 yojanas of land gap. 2,000 plus 2,000 plus 2,000 plus 2,000, 8,000 plus 1,000. Total will be 9,000 from here to here. That's how the division is there. And on the top of these 4 mountains, which are at a height of 10,000 yojanas, there are 4 trees whose height is 1,100 yojanas. The height of these trees are 1,100 yojanas. That we will see in the next slide. So they are the 4 trees which are located, which are situated on top of these 4 mountains in 4 directions. Then surrounding these 4 mountains, there are 20 mountains which are called Kesharachala mountain, which are filaments, which are like filaments, whose height is same as that of Mount Meru. Mount Meru's height is 84,000 yojanas. The height of these mountains, the pencil-like mountains, are also of 84,000 yojanas. May not be exactly 84, but very close to 84,000. And these are the different mountains within Ilavrita Varsha. And with all these things, the entire Ilavrita Varsha looks like a fire sacrifice, sacrificial altar. Especially Ashtabir Etai Parisito Agniriva Paritas Chakasti Kanchanagiri. Being surrounded by these 8 mountains and then 4 mountains and 20 mountains, the entire Ilavrita Varsha looks like a Yajnakunda, in which the Mount Meru is the fire and the set of mountains are like the different walls on the Yajnakunda. This is how it is. This is Mount Meru, the golden mountain which is like fire. They are the 2-pair mountain in 4 directions. They are the 4 mountains. They, of course, there the mountains are going upward. Here the steps are coming downward. And this particular layer is the 20 mountains range of Kesharachala mountain. Any Yajnakunda you see, there will be 3 steps. The first step we can see it as that 8 mountains, the 2-pair mountains in 4 directions, the 4 mountains and the 20 mountains, the 3rd level. So it is just compared to a Yajnakunda, because in order to understand for our normal experience, the Yajnakunda comparison is given here. And little more details about Jambudipa. This is being described in this chapter. It goes into more details. So the 4 mountains in 4 directions, the boundary mountains. In the middle there is Sumeru mountain, whose width is 16,000 yojanas, which is surrounded by 4 mountains. Of course, first we'll discuss the 4 mountains, then later on we'll come to the 8 mountains. The 4 mountains are Mandara, Meru Mandara, Suparshva and Kumuda. On top of these 4 mountains, there are 4 trees known as Devachuta, Jambu, Kadamba, and Shatavalsa. Devachuta is mango tree, Shatavalsa is banyan tree, and Jambu is a rose apple tree. And at the base of this mountain, there are 4 wonderful lakes. And this lake is filled with milk. This lake is filled with honey. This lake is filled with sugarcane juice. This lake is filled with pure water. And surrounding these lakes, there are wonderful gardens. Here the garden is known as Nandana garden. Here is known as Chitraratha garden. Here is known as Vibrajata. Here is known as Sarvato Bhadra. And the Devatas, who are the residents of Ilavrta Varsha, they along with their concerts, they actually enjoy in these gardens and in these lakes, being served by their followers and their attendants, and being glorified by Gandharvas and others, etc. And now comes the actual matter. And here Bhagavatam says that this mango fruit, which is located on top of this tree, and one more thing which was mentioned in the previous slide actually, these 4 trees which are located here, the width of the trunk, this is here the trunk, the width of the trunk is 100 yojanas. Can someone tell me how much is the value of 100 yojanas in kilometers? 1300 kilometers. That is the distance between Bombay to Vijayawada in central India. From Bombay in the west coast to Vijayawada in the east coast, that is the width of the trunk. The trunk itself is that much. And the height of the tree is from the base to the top, it is 1100 yojanas. And all the branches which are springing forth on the trunk, they go to a distance of 1100 yojanas. From here to here 1000 yojanas, 100. Here to here 1100, here to here 1000 yojanas. These are the details of these particular trees. And they are located on top of this mountain whose height is 10,000 yojanas, width is 2000 yojanas. And this tree had the fruits. This tree is a mango tree. It has mango fruit. So Mandara, Meru Mandara. So this mango fruit, where it is mentioned that, these mangoes are as big as mountain peaks. That is equal to 861 aratnis. 861 aratnis. 1 aratni is equal to 1.5 feet. That is equal to 430 meters. One mango is of 430 meters width. Hare Krishna, kindly imagine. The mango size is 430 meters. And this mango has no skin and no seed. And when this mango falls from the height of 11,000 yojanas, 10,000 this one and 1,000 tree height, 11,000 yojanas, it breaks and flows like a river. And this is a river of mango juice. It is known as Arunoda river. When the people who are residing in this Ilavrta Varsha, when they drink this mango juice from this river, from their mouth comes a beautiful fragrance which goes to a distance of 10 yojanas, that is 130 kilometers. Kindly understand what it is. It perfumes the entire atmosphere for 10 yojanas around. This is verse number 18. And then from the second mountain known as Meru Mandara, which has Jambu tree or rose apple tree, because of this Jambu tree only this entire area gets Jambu Dvipa. And this Jambu tree is nothing but the modern day Jamun tree. Jamun. In the rainy season, Jamun fruits are very famous. We offer to our lordships during Vaikalika Bhoga every day in the rainy season. So then, and these Jamun trees, Jamun fruits, so it is mentioned, the size of these Jamun fruits are like as big as elephant. These Jamun trees, Jamun fruits are as big as elephant, not our elephant, but elephant of Ilavrta Varsha. When they fall from the top, they break open and flow like a river. That tree is known as Jambunada river. And then the peculiarity of this river is, on both the banks of this river, whichever sand is there, whichever dust is there, when that sand or dust, when it is moistened by Jambu Nada river, and when it is dried by air and sunlight, that sand or the mud converts itself into gold. That sand or the dust which is located on both the sides of the river, when it is moistened by the river, dried by air and sunlight, it transforms itself into gold. And that gold is being worn by the people who are living in Nilavrta Varsha as different variety of ornaments. That is mentioned in the verse number 20 and 21. It says that Yadyuha Vava Vibhudadyai Saha Yuvatibir Mukuta. Some people use this gold for making mukut, kirita. Some people transform this as kataka kati, like the waist belt. The women use it as a waist belt. Sutradi. Sutra refers to bangles. And Sutradi Abarna Rupena, all the other variety of ornaments. Kaludarayanti, they wear it like that. So for them, the gold is naturally available on the bank of a river. They don't have to dig the earth to extract the gold. It is naturally available on the bank of the river. As much as you remove, that much gold will be made, because the river is continuously flowing, the dust is continuously there. As much as the dust is getting moistened and dried by air and sunlight, they naturally get it. So this is how the gold is available. And then this is a kadamba tree. On top of this kadamba tree, there are a lot of honeycombs, and all these honeycombs are filled with a lot of honey. The honey is too much, and it falls down. It flows like rivers. There are 5 rivers. Each river is a 5 vyama wide. So vyama is the space produced by extending 2 arms and the fingers. When you extend your hands along the fingers, so whatever the distance from this finger to this finger, that is called 1 vyama. So this is equal to 5 vyamas. So what would be the distance of the 5 vyamas? Pancha vyama paradhi. So that is being mentioned. So the distance of these two hands would be, if you consider it to be 1.5 meter, the 5 vyamas would be like a huge distance. So whatever the distance, like that canals, like that 5 rivers are flowing here. These 5 rivers are filled with pure honey. And whoever drinks the honey, from their mouth comes beautiful fragrance which goes to a distance of 100 yojanas. Not this is 10 yojanas, but this is 100 yojanas. And finally, from the unlimited roots of this banyan tree, there comes unlimited canals. One canal there will be milk. In one canal there will be yogurt. In one canal there will be honey. Milk, yogurt, honey, ghee, molasses, food, clothing, bedding, seeds and ornament. So these are all naturally available in terms of rivers only. Different rivers are providing different things that we need for our sustenance. So here, especially in Ilavrta Varsha, everything that we need for our sustenance is naturally available in the form of rivers. So their sustenance is depend upon different variety of rivers only. They don't have to work hard, they don't have to go to office. So that is the kind of situation available in Ilavrta Varsha. And then the 8 mountains which are situated around Mount Meru are located here. And then 20 mountains located surrounding the 4 mountains are situated here. These are the Kesharachala mountains. So this is the description about Jambu Deepa. Sorry, Jambu Deepa, and then within that Ilavrta Varsha. Here you can see the entire picture. Mount Meru, the 8 mountains surrounding Mount Meru, 2 in each direction, and the 4 mountains, 4 big mountains, and the trees, 4 trees on top of that mountain. At the base there are garden and water lake and rivers. The river, this is the river, this is Arunoda river, Jambunada river, Honey river, the river of milk, ghee, curd, dahi, etc. all those things. And these are the 20 Kesharachala mountain, 20 pencil-like mountains. Here we have shown them like a pencil type. And the same thing you can see here. These are the 4 mountains surrounding, whose height is 10,000 yojanas, the same height as that of the boundary mountains. And they are the two mountains, their height is 2000 yojanas. And these Kesharachala mountains are as high as Mount Meru. And here you can see very closely. 10,000 yojanas height, tree, mountain, tree, mountain, mountain, tree. 2,000 yojanas height mountains, the rivers. Here you can see all. 2,000 yojanas height mountain, 10,000 yojanas height mountain, 4 trees, and the rivers, etc. etc. These are the Kesharachala mountains. They're like pencil-like mountain, which are going as high as Mount Meru. They go all the way up to the top. So now the same entire Jambudipa. Now this is a isometric projection. You are looking at going on to the space. You are looking at the same thing. When you see from front side, when you see exactly from the front side, how it look like? This is Ilavrta. This is Mount Meru. This is the entire Jambudipa. From here to here, it is 1 lakh yojanas. And you see 2 mountains here. The 2 boundary mountains of the Ilavrta Varsha, Malevan mountain and Bhadrashva. This is Bhadrashva Varsha, this is Ketumala Varsha, this is Malevan mountain, this is Gandhamadana mountain, this is in the eastern direction, this is western direction. And within Ilavrta Varsha, the two pair mountain, they are actually made up of silver. Their height is 2000 yojanas, their width is also 2000 yojanas. Then there are 4 mountains in 4 directions, whose height is 10,000 yojanas, width is 2000 yojanas. These 4 mountains are made up of gold. And these are the Kesharachala mountain. Width is not mentioned. The height is as high as Mount Meru. They are going to the top of Mount Meru. And then, and there are all their respective dimensions. Bhadrashva Varsha is 31,000 yojanas here to here. This is 2,000. And this is 34,000 yojanas. This is another 2,000. This is another 20,000 yojanas. All put together becomes 1 lakh yojanas. And within Ilavrta Varsha, everything is 34,000 yojanas. 9 plus 16 plus 9 plus, that's all. Everything is 1 lakh yojanas, 34,000 yojanas. So this is the figure when you see from the front side. So that is basically, this figure is like when you cut here. After cutting here, when you see from this direction. So how it appears is that figure. And when you come this direction and see this image, or this direction maybe, see this image, how it look like. When you cut here and see the image, how does it look like in the next slide. Here Nishada mountain, Neela mountain, Hemakuta, Shweta, Himalaya and Shringavan. They are the Varshas. Bharata Varsha is here, Kimpurusha Varsha, Hari Varsha, Ramyaka, Hiranmaya and Kuru Varsha. This is Ilavrta Varsha. The two pair mountains made up of silver, the 4 mountains made up of gold, the 20 mountains made up of, we don't know how they are made up of, but they are like pencil-like mountain as high as Ilavrta Varsha. These are the intermediate dimensions. 9, 2, 9, 2, 9, 2, 34, 2, 9, 2, 9, 2, 9. All put together 1 lakh yojanas. The depth of Mount Meru inside the Jambudipa is 16,000 yojanas. Above Jambudipa is 84,000 yojanas. Total height is 1 lakh yojanas. So this is the side view and front view of entire Jambudipa. And then at the base, Mount Meru is 16,000 yojanas, but on the top it is 32,000 yojanas. From the top, when you see the top of Mount Meru, it is like this. From here to here, 32,000 yojanas, here to here, 32,000 yojanas. On top of Mount Meru, there are townships of 9 devatas. In the middle, Lord Brahma has his township known as Manovati, whose dimensions are 10,000 by 10,000, here to here 10,000, and here to here 10,000. And surrounding this Brahmas about, there are 8 Lokapalas have their 8 townships. Indra, Agni, Yama, Niruti, Varuna, Vayu, and Kuvera. And the dimensions of their townships are 2.5 thousand by 2.5 thousand, 2,500 by 2,500. It can be very well. Total is 32,000. This is 10,000. This is for 2.5. This is 2.5. Total will be 15,000 is occupied by the townships and remaining area is there. So in that way. So this is what is situated on top of Mount Meru. The same thing you can see here. So these are the townships of the 9 devatas, 9 principal devatas. These are the deities of the 9 directions. These are not their permanent residences. These are townships, the recreation townships in that way. Once in a while they come here to do some meetings. Just like in ISKCON we have half-yearly GBC meetings. Sometimes they happen in Kanpur, sometimes they happen in Tirupati, sometimes they happen in Mumbai, Juhu, sometimes they happen in Vrindavan, different places. Like that, whenever devatas want to do some meeting about universal maintenance, they come here. The meeting generally happens in Brahma's abode. Daytime meeting will happen here, nighttime they take rest here in their respective places. So that is how we have to understand. So this is how the townships are located on top of Mount Meru. And this is how their houses might be situated. So thus ends chapter 16. Any queries till now? Hare Krishna. Any queries?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, this Mandar mountain which is there in 11th Varsha. This is the same mountain which was used for churning of milk ocean?
Yes, it is same mountain. It is a golden mountain.
Okay. And Prabhuji, my second question is that in 9th canto, there is a description of King Suyagya. So he happens to enter into 11th Varsha in one of the portions which was like restricted. There only Lord Shiva and Parvati's maid servants are residing. So where is that particular place, Prabhuji? So like that particular place, is it whole 11th Varsha is like that, or there is a particular place? If whole 11th Varsha is like that, then how come demigods are coming along with their consorts to enjoy in the Nandankanan garden?
Okay. Kindly see the slide.
Yes, please.
What is written here? Hare Krishna, you are able to read it?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Mount Kailasha.
What
Kailasha.
Mount? So this is where Lord Shiva stays.
Okay.
Okay. This is
Yes,
where unknowingly Sudyumna entered and became Ila.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
In this
Prabhuji.
mountain. This is that mountain.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Where anyone enters into this area, even now also, even today also, if anybody happens to go there, they will become female.
Prabhuji, seeing this, I got one more query. So like we hear there is one Kailash in Himalayas also, like so where people go for this Kailash Mansarovar Yatra.
For which you have to wait till future sessions. Okay. I cannot tell now that I cannot tell now.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? Any other query in relation to our discussion, our today's discussion? If there are no queries, let us start 17th chapter. So in the 17th chapter, the first 10 verses talks about the descent and flow of Mother Ganga within Jambudipa. It's already 9:10, so I will take 5-10 minutes just to discuss this. So this is in relation to Lord Vamana accepting charity from Bali Maharaj. He expanded himself into Trivikrama. So in the original picture, if you remember, the entire universe is compared to a lotus, having a lotus leaf below and lotus stem and lotus flower above. With 1 feet, he occupied the entire Bhumandala out of the 3 steps. With 1 step, he occupied the Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. And the toenail of that feet increased to such extent it touched the universal shell. Because the touch of the toenail, there is a small crack on the shell of the universe. Outside the universal shell, there is Karna ocean. Because all our universes are floating in Karna ocean. So there is Karna ocean outside the universe. That is causal ocean. Because of the crack made by the toenail of Lord Vamana's feet, lotus feet, the Karana ocean entered into our universe and it came down to Satyaloka or Brahmaloka, the abode of Lord Brahma. So that is where Lord Brahma collected that water which is coming from Kadal ocean in his Kamandalu, and with that water he did Abhishek of the lotus feet of Lord Trivikrama. Then that water became Charanamrut of Lord Trivikrama, and that water became known as Bhagavat Padi. Because having touched the lotus feet of Lord Brahma and Lord Trivikrama, it came down. That's why it is called Bhagavat Padi. And then that water passing through Tapaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka eventually came down to Dhruvaloka. Dhruvaloka is the residence of Kshirodakashai Vishnu. It is generally known as Vishnu Pada, the abode of Lord Vishnu, the abode of Kshirodakashai Vishnu, the in charge of maintenance of the entire universe. And this Ganga came down to Dhruvaloka and then going further downward. And from there on it became known as Vishnu Padi. Then passing through Dhruvaloka, it came to Saptarishi Mandal. Then it came down to Chandra Mandal. Then it came down to Mount Meru. It landed in the middle of the township of Lord Brahma. Just now we have seen on top of Mount Meru in the middle Brahma's township is there. This Ganga landed, this Vishnupadi landed in the middle of Brahma's township. That's how step by step it came down. Satyaloka, Janaloka, Satyaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, Dhruvaloka, Saptarishi Mandal, Chandraloka, and then top of Mount Meru. Then on top of Mount Meru it divided into 4 canals. One went into eastern direction, that became known as Sita. Actually it jumped from the top of Mount Meru, came down to Jambudvipa and goes in eastern direction, that is called Sita. That which goes in the western direction known as Chakshu. That which goes in the northern direction known as Bhadra. That which goes towards southern direction, that is called Alakananda. And passing through all over Jambudvipa, these 4 branches of Ganga will join saltwater ocean which is surrounding entire Jambudvipa. Here you see, from the top it is coming and becoming 4 in the township of Brahma. Then they go downward and passing through all the areas of Jambudvipa enters into saltwater ocean. In addition to these 4 main branches, there will be another so many tributaries. Their names are not mentioned in the Bhagavatam. These are the other tributaries. So as you see from the top, so when it is falling down from the top of Mount Meru, it goes like this. In the eastern direction, it goes like this. In the western direction, northern direction, southern direction. This is the top view. But how exactly it is happening? I will take your question after some time. So here you see in an animated way, coming down to top of township of Brahma, then 4 directions, 4 branches, and falling downward. Then you see, as it falls down, it falls on top of Kesharachal mountain, then falls on top of Gandhamadana mountain, then comes down and goes through Bhadra Shorasha and enters into saltwater ocean. And that river branches, when it falls here, jumps across and goes downward and goes around like Bharatavarsha and enters into saltwater ocean. Here from here goes around, jumps across and goes around. Though, as it is mentioned, as it is shown here, when the water falls down from here to here, this mountain, some water might fall inside the mountain, some water might fall outside the mountain in this land, but that water fell on top of this mountain. By nature it jumps and goes around and goes around and goes around like this. This is how it is being described in Srimad Bhagavatam. See here you can see, in every hydel power plant, when water jumps from the dam, the water actually jumps. If this height is about 84,000 Yojana, then how much would be the bouncing of the water? So thus you can actually understand water can actually jump. So that's how the water jumps. Sorry. As you see here. So whichever water falls on top of this mountain, that jumps to this mountain, then jumps to this mountain, like that. It goes all over Jambudvipa. Some water which fall in Harivarsha also, some water will fall in Kimpurusha Varsha, Ilavruta Varsha also. Here some water, when this jumps here, some water will fall inside, some water will fall outside the mountain also, but though that water will fall from the mountain, again jumps, again it goes ahead. So this is how the water goes in all four directions. And this is known Sita, this is known Bhadra, this is known Chakshu, this is known Alakananda here. So these are the four branches in four directions from the top of Mount Meru and downward. These are their names: Sita, Chakshu, Bhadra and Alakananda. So one interesting thing, though because of Lord Vamana, the Ganga went in four directions, but Ganga is known as Rupantarena Vahati. Vahati means to flow, Rupa means in a visible form, Antarena means in an invisible form. This Ganga in due course of time became invisible. Though it was traveling all over Bharata Varsha and entering into saltwater ocean, it became invisible. So this happened when Sagara Maharaj was ruling. When Sagara Maharaj was ruling, he was performing an Ashwamedha sacrifice. He was performing 100th Ashwamedha sacrifice. Indra became insecure. Indra stole the horse and hid that horse in Patala Loka, in the ashram of Lord Kapila. And the 60,000 sons in search of that horse went down to Patala Loka. They thought that Lord Kapila only stole that horse. When they wanted to kill Kapila, the fire within their own body emitted, increased and burned them to ashes. Their ashes are seen here, see? Their skulls are falling down here. So not seeing that their sons are returned, King Sagara sent his grandson Amshuman to find out their whereabouts. Amshuman came down to Patala, offered prayers to Lord Kapila, sought the mercy of Lord Kapila. Then with Kapila's permission, he took the horse. But when he asked Kapila to deliver his uncles, Lord Kapila said that, please bring Ganga down. By the touch of Ganga's water, they can be delivered. So Amshuman went back, gave the horse to his grandfather, Sagara Maharaj. Sagara Maharaj performed the 100 sacrifice and went back to Swarga. And then Amshuman, after giving the kingdom to his son Dilipa, he went to forest to perform severe austerities in order to bring Ganga down. Nothing happened. And Dilipa, giving his kingdom to his son Bhagirath, went to forest as Vanaprastha performed tapasya. Nothing happened. But Bhagirath, giving his kingdom to his son, whoever it is, he also went to forest after Vanaprastha. During Vanaprastha, performed austerities. Then that Bhagirath could please Mother Ganga, and by Mother Ganga's request, he could also please Lord Shiva, who can restrict the speed of Mother Ganga, because Ganga is coming from the outer skies. When she is coming down from the top of Mount Meru, it is coming very huge force. When it is coming from the height of 84,000 yojanas, it can easily pierce through Jambudipa. It can easily pierce through Bharata Varsha. So this Lord Shiva, who is residing in Greater Himalayas, which is there on the northern boundary of Bharata Varsha, accepted to take care of Mother Ganga's speed. So Mother Ganga, Lord Shiva accepts Mother Ganga on his jata, then gives a small tributary. That tributary following Bhagirath Maharaj, coming down from the Greater Himalayas, came down to going through Bharata Varsha, came to saltwater ocean, and through saltwater ocean it came down all the way up to Patala, and touching the ashes of the 60,000 sons of Sagara Maharaj, delivered them. And that we can see in Devaprayag. In Devaprayag, we can see both the rivers. That branch brought by Bhagirath Maharaj, known as Bhagirathi, that branch which was originally there by Lord Vamana, Alakananda. But this Alakananda becomes invisible. Currently, what we see is only Bhagirathi. Though it is this Alakananda merging with Bhagirathi, but later on we can see only Bhagirathi alone. So this is what happens in Devaprayag. And from Devaprayag it goes ahead to Haridwar, then Rishikesh, then Kanpur, then Prayag, then Kanpur, and eventually Howrah, then enters into saltwater ocean, Bay of Bengal. Here you can see. So this is Alakananda, this is Bhagirathi. Both of them merging in Devaprayag, which you can see very clearly with the color difference, and then goes ahead to Haridwar, Rishikesh, Prayag, Varanasi, Prayag, Kanpur, and then eventually Howrah, saltwater ocean. Then this is the last slide for today's discussion. We'll stop here with the slide. So I have two verses from chapter 19, which has connection to sons of Sagar Maharaj. When the sons of Sagar Maharaj were digging in order to find out the lost horse, so they created so many islands surrounding Jambudipa. Among so many islands that are surrounding Jambudipa, the 8 are very famous. The 8 islands, 8 subcontinents, they are very famous. They are known as Swarnaprashta, Chandrashukla, Mandara Harina, Avartana, Ramanaka, Panchajanya, Simhala and Lanka. It is said that Jambu Deepasacha Rajan Upadipan Ashtav Aika. There are so many Upadvipas. They are sub-islands in relation to Jambu Deepa. Among them, 8 are famous. How they were created? Haika Upadishanti, Sagaratmajair, Anveshanav Imam Mahim, Sagaratmajair Ashwa Anveshana Imam Mahim, Parito Nikadabir, Upakalpita. As they were digging on the surface of Jambudipa, there are so many islands manifested. Among them, 8 are prominent. Among the 8, their 8 names are mentioned here: Sarnaprushta, Chandrashukla, Mandara Harana, Avartana, Ramanaka, Panchajanya, Simhala, and Lanka. And among them, about 2 names are mentioned in Bhagavatam. Lanka is known as the abode of Ravana, or the abode of Kuvera. Even now it became the kingdom of Vibhishan. Vibhishan still stays in Lanka. And Ramanaka is the home of Kaliya. After punishing Kaliya, Lord Krishna tells him, go back to your home. And then Kaliya went back to Ramanaka island. More appropriately, this is Lanka, which is located just adjacent to Bharatavarsha. And this could be Ramanaka island. This is where Kaliya is residing now. And this is where Vibhishan, the king of all the Rakshasas, they are residing here. Even today also, if you go here, you can meet Vibhishan and all the Rakshasas. If you go here, you can meet Kaliya. So this is about the Mother Ganga, Bhagirathi, and the islands created by sons of Sagar Maharaj. Among them, Lanka is one of them, and also Ramanaka is one among them. So we'll stop here for today. It is anyway, it is little more than 9:15. And before stopping, with whatever we have discussed, a small video of 1 minute.
In the center of Jambudvip stands the most extraordinary divine golden mountain called Meru. Meru is shaped like an inverted cone, and it is the sporting place for the demigods. Around Meru are many supporting mountains called Kesara. Jambudvipa is 0.8 million miles in diameter and is surrounded by the saltwater ocean of the same width. On top of Mount Meru is a resort of Brahma called Manavati. The famous celestial river Ganges descends to the center of Manavati and then flows out into 4 directions. Surrounding Manavati in the 8 directions are the resort cities of the chief demigods. One of these cities is Amaravati, the resort of Indra, king of heaven. King Indra lives here in majestic opulence, attended to by musicians, dancers, and reciters. In Bharatvarsha, the famous mountains known as the Himalayas are tall and immovable. Here we find an abode of Lord Shiva, the greatest of the demigods.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Anyone has any query in relation to what we discussed till now?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, this Ganges, when it merges into saltwater ocean.
Yes.
So from there it goes to Patal Loka.
Yes, perfect.
So, okay. And
Yes,
Prabhuji, my second question was that this churning of milk ocean. So there is one milk ocean in like this Bhumandala, and then like but we saw that the abode of Kshirodaksha Vishnu is in Dhruvaloka. So which milk ocean was churned?
The milk ocean, which is the fifth ocean in the Bhumandala. Among the 7 oceans, the fifth ocean is also milk ocean. That is where the Devatas and Asuras churned using Mandara mountain as the churning rod, Vasuki as the churning thread, churning rope. Not on Dhruvaloka, but on Bhumandala only.
So on Dhruvaloka also there is one milk ocean.
Yeah, there is a milk ocean.
Okay.
Shira Sagar, that is called as.
Okay.
Ji, this Dhruvaloka. Yes,
Prabhu.
Ji, this Dhruvaloka, it is below Satyaloka.
Yes. Below Maharloka. Dhruvaloka is situated below Maharloka.
And Prabhuji, one more thing that we hear that Maharaj Dhruv, when he did austerity, then he got the greater kingdom than the Lord Brahma. And that is also called Dhruvaloka.
Yes, that is called Dhruvaloka. Previously it was known as Vishnupadi. When it was given to Dhruva Maharaj, Lord Vishnu on his own willing gives it to Dhruva Maharaj, his own abode. From then on, it became known as Dhruvaloka.
So there only Kshirodaksha Vishnu reside.
Yeah, there only Kshirodaksha Vishnu resides. He was residing then, he is residing now also.
Okay, and in dimension that is greater than Satyaloka.
No, it is not about dimension, it is greater than Satyaloka. It is greater because Lord Vishnu himself is staying. It is the abode of Lord Vishnu. From that point of view, it is greater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
See, what is the use of having 1 ton coal when you have 1 cubic meter diamond, 1 cubic centimeter diamond? You are getting?
Sorry, Prabhuji, couldn't hear.
What is the use of having coal which is occupied in a big place which is like 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer area when you have 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter diamond with you? The diamond may be volume wise very less, but it is more valuable than the coal which might be filled with the entire godown.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I mean, this is a material analogy. I am just telling.
Prabhuji, also about Dhruvaloka, in 4th canto, Prabhupada writes that it is like as good as spiritual world only. And so
of course, Lord Vishnu personally residing there, so it is spiritual world only.
So at the time of dissolution, Prabhupada tells that like it is not affected.
Yeah, it becomes invisible. It is disappear. It will disappear.
Prabhuji, one more thing. How this lotus system goes up, because in middle there is Mount Sumeru. So this Bhumandala, what is the kind of location of that lotus system? It is through that Mount Sumeru.
See, Prabhuji, as it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam 3rd canto, chapter 10, Lord Brahma divided this lotus into 14 divisions. So Lord Brahma divided this lotus into Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. And then within the leaf, there are 7 more divisions: Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, etc. So after the divisions are made, now we can only see the divisions. We can only see the 14 lokas in the universe. We can't see the lotus anymore. The lotus has been divided into 14 divisions. So now you can't see lotus anymore.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I had one question.
Yes.
Prabhuji, you told that Bhagirathi and Alaknanda, they come together at Devprayag. Prabhuji, what I wanted to understand is that Alaknanda, it was already coming to Bharatvarsha, right? So didn't that pierce Bhumandala or Jambudvipa?
No, that Alakananda was only created by Lord Vamana. So when Bhagirath Maharaj prayed to Ganga to come down. Sorry, not Bhagirath Maharaj. So when your question is valid that Alkananda is not piercing Bhuman, Jambudipa, Bhumandala, etc. That we don't know that time. Actually, one reason, if you see, this is a Mother Ganga herself wanted to show a plea not to come. That could be one of the reasons. Whether she could pierce or not pierce, from our natural understanding, we can understand actually. When Ganga is falling down from the top of 84,000 yojanas, then there will be a lot of inrush, there will be a lot of force, because of which there could something happen. But the mountain is so strong, it can withstand also. Na? The first mountain withstood. Because of that only, it is jumping, like it is bouncing. And then falling on the next mountain, then bouncing on the third mountain. By then the force will be reduced. But still, Mother Ganga says that if I fall down from that the bouncing portion, so there will be a problem. But we can say that Mother Ganga does not want to come down. So she is telling that when I come down, what will happen to me? Then he prayed to Lord Shiva so that she can have the association of Lord Shiva also in between. So it is like that. It is like a pastime.
Okay.
Prabhuji, there is a question in chat box.
Yes, I could see that. What is the correlation between Lanka and Sri Lanka of today? Also, Prabhupada speaks of some modern island country where Kaliya went. Prabhupada says Fiji as Ramanaka. But to be precise, Prabhupada has said such kind of things in order to connect his immediate audience. Who were Prabhupada's immediate audience during 1970s and 60s? Hippies.
Please.
So for hippies, if you talk about something which is very far, which is about all these things, they may not accept. That too, Western audience, very difficult for them to convince. Western audience are a little bit more scientific minded and all, they can't accept things very easily. So Prabhupada might have said those things which are in connection to us. Even Prabhupada told about Brazil to be Lanka, because Brazil is filled with a lot of gold mines, etc. etc. Even with neither Brazil nor Lanka is Sri Lanka is Lanka. Lanka is situated outside Jambudipa, outside Bharatavarsha. It is not part of Bharatavarsha only. Our Earth globe is completely part of Bharatavarsha only. And this Lanka is not, we cannot visit Lanka. Because Lanka is meant for Rakshasas. That is abode of, that is called as Rakshasalaya, Rakshasas abode. So we as human beings cannot go there. So there is no point about it. And Sri Lanka is very well filled with human beings like all of us. So Sri Lanka is part of Bharatavarsha. It is very well part of Jambudipa. But Lanka is outside Jambudipa. It is one of the highlands created surrounding Jambudipa. So in that, even Ramaka also.
If that is the case,
you are not audible, Prabhuji.
Not take anyone to Lanka.
Yeah, we cannot go to Lanka. How can we go? That is place meant for Rakshasas. We are not Rakshasas. We are human beings. So Lanka is meant for Rakshasas to live. So they are living there now. Their king is Vibhishan. Vibhishan was blessed by Lord Ram to live for the entire day of Brahma. Vibhishan will be the ruler of Rakshasas for this current entire day of Brahma.
I have no doubt about that, but what I am saying is that we worship that Ram Setu. So actually that Ram Setu is not the actual Ram Setu that we worship.
No, it can be, na. It can start from Rameshwar, it can go via Sri Lanka, it can go all the way up to Lanka downward. Why not?
So it is inside the earth like that.
Which one?
That actual Ram Setu, it is inside the earth.
Ram Setu started from Bharatavarsha, it goes all the way up to Lanka. The intermediate ocean is covered by Ram Setu. And whatever it is through NASA images and all, we are seeing only the image between India and Sri Lanka. If you see after Sri Lanka also, you should be able to see something more. Or you may see, you may not see, because anyway Lord Ram actually dismantled the entire Ram Setu after coming back to Bharatavarsha.
It dismantled also?
Obviously, if you read Ramayana, it dismantled by the request of Vibhishan. And Vibhishan told that if you keep this bridge, people from Bharatavarsha to Lanka, Lanka to Bharatavarsha keep commuting. It is not a good proposal. Please dismantle it, so that people from here they cannot go there. People from there they cannot come here. Lord Rama dismantled it. That's why it is called a Dhanushkoti. By the curved portion of by the end of the bow, he touched it, so it broke apart.
So that means that we are not worshipping the actual Ram Setu, right?
No, Prabhuji, it is actual Ram Setu only. What we are worshipping, the remnants of Ram Setu. The remnants, last remaining remnants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Few more questions are there, Prabhuji, in the chat box.
Yeah, please, please. How Mother Ganga goes to Patala Loka. So Ram Setu we discussed. So Mother Ganga, how it goes to Patala Loka, we will discuss after discussing Patal, all these lower planets. Maybe in tomorrow session we will be able to discuss that. If not tomorrow, otherwise then Tuesday. I have a slide to discuss that, because we have not discussed about lower planets, so I cannot discuss that how it goes down. But it goes down. Have faith about it. And then the next question is, when sons of Sagar Maharaj digged the Jambu Dvipa, then how islands around outside it, you told Alakananda became invisible, then how we again see it at Devaprayag. Okay, the sons of Bharat Maharaj, sorry, the sons of Sagar Maharaj, they were digging on the surface of Jambudipa. So when they were digging Bharatavarsha and other places, they, after digging, the mud is put at somewhere else. That mud is like made like a island in the middle of the ocean. So like that the islands are manifested. That can be very possible, na? The 60,000 sons of Agar Maharaj, along with so many people, they are digging very huge way. They are excavating so much. So the islands can be made. They are not like our tiny human beings. They are the people of Treta Yuga. They could do all these things very nicely. So there is nothing impossible for them.
Prabhuji, one more question.
Yes,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, this the ocean that we see, the saltwater ocean, it is a similar ocean which is below Bharatvarsha as we see here. That saltwater ocean, is it similar?
Yes, yes. It is same saltwater ocean.
Okay. And then Prabhuji, the like Australia and like we see there are some in one way islands which are there. So are these islands similar? One of those islands which are like
no. These islands, what you see in this picture, they are different from the islands on our Earth globe. They are entirely different. None of these islands are part of our Earth globe. That we will discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow, everything becomes clear in tomorrow's session.
Okay, thank you.
So, any other devotee has any other query? Last query? Then we will stop for today.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, you told that the whole lotus along with that leaf from which Brahma came, like it was divided by Brahma. So
yes.
that whole lotus is made up of these earth and 5 elements, is it?
It is made up of 24 elements: earth, water, fire, and ether. 5 Panchamahabhutas, 5 Tanmatras, 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, and 4 Antakaranas, Manbuddhi, Ahankara, Chetana. The lotus is made up of 24 elements. So there is one more question in the chat box. You told Alakananda became invisible. Then how we again see it in Devaprayag? So time to time they become visible and they become invisible. This is because of some pastimes that Lord performs in relation to respective devotees. Mother Ganga performs in relation to some respective devotees. Sometimes Ganga will be visible, sometimes Ganga becomes invisible. Even now, if you remember, you must have heard sometimes, whatever Ganga we see will disappear after the passing of 10,000 years of Kali Yuga. We are already past 5,000 years. In another 5,000 years, the whatever Ganga we are seeing today will become invisible. And later on in the next Satya Yuga, by the worship of some devotee, again Ganga will manifest, Ganga will become visible. For example, Yamuna, about 500 years back when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Vrindavan, Goswami stayed in Vrindavan, even when Prabhupada visited Vrindavan about 50 years back in 70s, 60s, Yamuna was flowing like very full-fledged. And today what you see in Yamuna is nothing but gutter water from Delhi. Maybe in few decades later, even that also does not come. Yamuna will become no more Yamuna. The things will go ahead like this. So within our lifetime only we are seeing Yamuna becoming disappeared. So Ganga also will disappear one day in future. Again, by the mercy, by the hard work of some devotee, the same Ganga will become visible. Just like Sagara Maharaj made Ganga visible at one point of time in the past. So these things will keep happening with respect to time. Because Kali Yuga is so bad, Ganga herself does not want to stay anymore. She becomes invisible, like Yamuna becoming invisible now. Like Saraswati became invisible in the past. So these things, these past tense will keep happening. So it will happen like that. Hare Krishna. Hope everything is okay. So I request all of you to read through 16th chapter and 17th chapter all the way up to verse number 10. If you have any queries, we will discuss tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll start from 11th verse of the 17th chapter tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for taking out your time and so nicely explaining so elaborately.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So I just briefly touching upon some of the details. For more details, if you want, you can refer to our Bhagavata Cosmology book. Or in YouTube, we have a channel known as Bhagavata Cosmology. There, the same thing what we are discussing now with little bit more details are presented there.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.